Hey everyone, I'm so glad to be back. We've missed the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, had a death in the family 2 weeks ago and had some dental work, unexpected dental work last Thursday. But we have been quiet, but we've been quiet on social media, but we've been doing a lot of work. Got some things to share with you all tonight. I'm a little tired, but I'm glad to be back. So, in other words, let's go. All right. So glad to be back. Hope all of y'all have been doing well since last time we talked. We have definitely been pushing forward, not just in the process of becoming, but we're making some real progress in the platform. So let me see if I can kind of remember how things are going. So we'll pull this up back up because I forgot the platform. Just been gone for 2 weeks and it seemed like I forgot everything. But we are here. Want to kind of talk about where we've been and what's been happening. So give me a second, see if I can pull this up on Facebook because I don't see anything up here. Hold on one second. Mhm. So, okay, there we go. So had a really big day yesterday. We met with some IP attorneys and looking at the IP attorneys, they were amazed with the platform, to be honest. Not only were they amazed, the words like ingenious came up. And then they were asking, like, what can we do or what do you need from us so we can move forward? So, but that wasn't what was successful about yesterday's meeting. It wasn't that they saw in their words the brilliance of the idea. It was who I was once I came into the meeting. I wasn't looking to prove anything, and I wasn't looking to impress them. And I think the majority of my life, you're always trying to prove that that you have something, that you're smart. But as I've been on this journey of becoming and aligning with who I really am, I'm starting to realize it's less about proving anything, and it's more about, am I being true to who I am in this moment? And that has been gravity for me. And I kind of want to share some of that tonight. I want to kind of share with you. I want to kind of talk through some of that because I know some of us are trying to say, well, how do we make certain things happen? And this feels a lot like how Soul Damage was when I did that movie. When I first did my first movie, it was kind of unreal. I didn't choose to be a filmmaker. It chose me. And it is just like what I'm doing here with this. I didn't choose this. It chose me. And what I mean by that is I found out what inspired action is. And I started really understanding what alignment really was. Because I was trying to make a whole lot of stuff happen. I had great ideas, but it just seemed like I never could make them work. But when I learned how to get out of the way and start allowing things to happen, it's like it stopped becoming easy. And I don't want to use that word too lightly, saying like it's easy, like it wasn't an effort, because the real effort was trusting this process, right? So yesterday went a little like this. We had the meeting with the head of the company, and he wanted us to talk to his IT team, his second in command, and then that person that pretty much put all the contracts and deals together. And they have done major deals. They have done major deals. They are incredibly successful as IP attorneys, deal makers, fundraisers. Pretty much, they could make all of this come true. Typically, I would have been nervous outside of my mind because I want them to really get it. But but I knew I had to go in differently. I knew I had to go in authentically. So for 2 weeks, what I really did was work on me. I worked on truly aligning myself with what I'm trying to accomplish here. And I had to face a lot of uncertainty and fears in those 2 weeks about, am I good enough? Am I good enough to perpetuate this dream? I had to work through the fear of, oh, I'm going to be in there with a software developer. Do I know enough of the tech to even have an intelligent conversation with this guy to make him realize that I know what I'm talking about? And it was in that moment of trying to work through that, like my inner being was like, what are you doing? You're not trying to prove anything together. This idea has been given to you. What are you really good at? And what I'm really good at is not that I'm good at the tech. I'm good at the biology that's behind what we're driving the tech. So then I started to settle and realize, what is my lane here? My lane is not to prove to them how the technology is going to work. My lane is for them to see a vision that was given to me. And I don't have to know everything about that vision. All I need to know is what the vision is. When I was doing Soul Damage, it was so horrible on set when I first started directing it. I didn't even know what the calls were. I didn't know how to say, I didn't know when was the right time to say action. It was that bad. I mean, they laughed at me because I did not know the calls. I just knew how I did stuff. And it was so bad that a lot of days I didn't even want to show up to set. I didn't even want to be there for my own movie because I felt so insignificant. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing. And I was looking for anyone, and I do mean anyone, that I could give this off to. But there was no one but me. And one day it clicked in my head so clearly. Nobody knows this vision but me. Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like. No one knows what it's supposed to feel like. And nobody knows what the storyline is better than I do. I hired everyone else to do all the stuff I didn't know how to do. All I had to do was to hold the vision. And that's what came back to me yesterday when we were meeting with these folk. My job is to understand what the vision is, not to know how to implement everything. That's what we hire people for. But how this vision is supposed to show up in the world, what it's supposed to feel like. Like I was thinking today, a lot of times people pride themselves on being experts about facts. But what came to me was, I am the only one that knows what the color tastes like. And I'm going to say that again. There are many people who may know the facts. They may know the coding. They may know all those things. But I, being the vision bearer, I am the only one that know what the color tastes like. And that is something that is from deep within. And I think what's preventing a lot of you all from pursuing that dream or moving out in that thing is because you think you need to know everything. You don't need to know everything. What you do need to know is, what is the vision? And did this vision choose you, or are you out here trying to make something happen? Am I making any sense? And I see Tony plus my, oh, wow, this is the first time I got some comments from YouTube. Wow, that's work. Magnolia Productions, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I can see your comments. Thank you. Uh, so I wanted to talk about that tonight, about allowing the vision to choose you. There's this process that I've been working on. I'm calling it Neuroresonance Manifestation. It comes from the law of manifestation. If you don't know what the law of manifestation is, it's thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and action leads to results. I say it again. The way that you take something from the invisible world and bring it into the tangible world is that it first starts with a thought. That thought then comes with a feeling. Those feelings lead to actions, and those actions then lead to the results that you're trying to get. What I've learned over the last 20 years of me trying to understand this is that I've modified that and created my own spin on it. And it's what we call neuroresonance manifestation now. Here's the other thing that came to me today. I am literally not trying to make a podcast that is trying to speak to millions of people. I think I'm really out here trying to speak to one person that's like on the edge of really jumping off the cliff to follow their dreams. I think that's who I'm really called to. I think there's one person that may be listening or may hear this and they say, you know something, if he's crazy enough to start filmmaking at 40, and if he's crazy enough to start a tech company and found a new tech innovation at 50, and has no training in this, but believing that God is going to guide him all the way, and he succeeds, then what can I do? Because you might already be an expert in the area that you're afraid to step out in right now. So I said this at the early of the year when we start celebrating 10 years of filmmaking. I am not the exception. I'm just an example. And I think that I know that this journey, it's all about being an example right now. So when we start talking about neuroresonance manifestation, it really starts with having aligned thoughts. You have those good ideas and then those God ideas, but what is speaking to you? Like, what is really coming to you that may scare you a little bit, but it's not something that you just conjured up in your mind. It is something that is pulling you. That's the aligned thought. Once you understand, you accept what it is. Okay, how do I get on board with this aligned thought? Aligned thought then leads to inspired action. This has been the one place that I've had the biggest hiccup. I would have good God thoughts, but then I would immediately try to go out and implement it. I would immediately try to go out and make it happen. The greatest success that has happened to me within the last year is that when I get a God thought, I wait until I get that unction now. Move. If I'm rushed, if I'm feeling scared or anxious and I'm trying to make it happen, I stop. I stop completely. Tammy, what does PM stand for? Okay, you come back to me with it. But I wait until that inspired action comes. And what I couldn't do in 2 weeks, I can now do in 2 hours. I can do in 30 minutes. I can do in 40 minutes. And it is like one of the most magical things because now my nervous system is now in alignment. So I have that God thought, and now I'm waiting for my nervous system to regulate with it. And after that, inspired action, then it started happening. We really, really, really put this to the test at the time of the gala this year. We were saying, you know something? I don't care how much pressure it is. I don't care how much money is due for these vendors. We're going to make being in alignment our top priority. And the one thing that I think was one of the greatest compliments from having an extremely successful film festival this year was that the people who worked around us most kept saying the same thing. This is the most relaxed we have ever seen you. This is the most calm we've ever seen you at this place. And then that was the real test for us. So what I'm doing now is taking this process, and this is my real secret sauce on how I'm making this tech venture come to life. It is not by a lot of effort. It is about saying, okay, if this is the dream that chose me, I am going to align everything about myself with it. I'm going to work on making sure that my nervous system is in alignment with that vision. That means that if there's fear, I'm gonna keep working on soothing, getting rid of the fear and building the confidence. If there's tension, if there's anxiety, now my whole thing is getting rid of the anxiety, getting rid of this stuff before I make a move. Because if I make a move with that energy, that's what I'm putting out in the universe. That's what I'm spreading out. That's what's emanating from me. So if that's what's emanating from me, then only thing that can come back to me is more chaotic energy. So my goal for the last 2 weeks before I had that meeting was not to impress them with the information I had, was not to show that I am good enough. It was to align with the vision that chose me from the beginning and just share it from a place of knowing that this is what was given to me. And when I say it was one of the greatest meetings that we had, because when I said these people who do these multi-billion-dollar deals looked at me and was like, this is one of the most ingenious things we've ever heard. How did you get this? But that wasn't a real success for me. The real success for me was not that I impressed them. The real success was I did not go in there with the desperation of trying to prove something. Am I making sense to anyone? Is this resonating with any of you all? Now, I haven't got a call back yet to say how this is going to turn out. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But what I do know is immediately after I left that, I got a call from a television exec saying, hey, can we meet? I want to talk to you about potentially working with this? It came to me. And this stuff used to kind of happen kind of randomly. But what I'm learning now is that this is not random. This is very strategic. This is very aligned. And when I look in the scriptures, it all lines up. So I'm I don't know if I'm always doing a good job of sharing how this is working, but that's why we're doing this. I'm going through this whole process so you can see me fumble and bumble through it. So you can pick those pieces that you need, or those pieces that make sense to you, and apply it to your life so you can start seeing this happen. But what I can tell you this, doing this podcast made me a lot more comfortable in doing that presentation yesterday, because you all saw how I have struggled with anxiety about not being able to be perfect, going through this. Sometimes I told y'all I didn't really want to be on because I was scared. I was afraid of how I was going to show up because I don't like doing stuff live. I'm recovering from being a perfectionist, but this helped me do that. This, going through this process, I know it helped me in that meeting yesterday. And from being in that meeting, we had tech issues in the beginning. You know, we were prepared to come use our computer, and we had to use theirs. And their computers was kind of different from what we used, and it took a while. Didn't bother me at all. I had seen the times I probably broke out in the highs because we couldn't get the computer to work quickly like we needed to. But it wasn't about that. You know, one of the guys he only had 45 minutes. And initially he was like, okay, hurry up, do this 45 minutes because you want to impress him before he go. And it was like, no, I'm going to just tell the story the way I'm led to tell the story. I'm going to make the presentation from a way that feels comfortable to me. I'm going to talk about the things that I believe in. I'm not going to try to read their faces to see what they like and what they get. No, what's true to me, what resonates with me. Because the worst thing that we could ever do is try to impress people who are not in alignment with us in the first place. I wasn't going there hoping that they would choose me. I was going there to see, do they align with the vision that God gave me? And if they didn't align with the vision that God gave me, it don't matter how much money they have, because it's not going to work anyway. But when I am in alignment and I'm at peace and I'm accepting what I am supposed to be doing, I'm not trying to convince you. It's just like what I'm doing right here. If this doesn't speak to you, then move on. I mean, that doesn't mean that we're not friends or we're not good. This doesn't resonate with you. But for those who are at that place, then this speaks to somewhere inside of you, and you're saying, hey, I want that. I want to do that. And that has been life-changing for me, man, because I've spent the greater part of my life trying to fit in somewhere, or wanting to fit in somewhere at least. And I was halfway fitting into places, but I was never fitting in totally with me. I was trying to be impressive, but I didn't like me per se, or I couldn't show all of who I was. And now in this, as the church would say, in this season of me walking totally in who I am, I love being around me. I love my own company. I love discovering more things about me, right? And these ideas that are coming to me, it's just like Michael Jackson said this one time. He said that sometimes he was afraid to write his name on the songs that he wrote because he didn't write them. They came to him. The universe came to him. And I'm here to tell you that if you align your thoughts, you align your nervous system, these ideas, these things are waiting to choose you, and they will change your life. I am walking this out. I made a bold statement before this. I said, look, we're going to launch this tech company, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to walk it out with you even before it happens. That's what I'm doing. And I'm telling you, we're close to something really breaking real fast. We're close. We're very close. And it ain't because Jimmy John had helped me. It's not because of any other thing. It's because I am putting the work in to align with the vision that chose me. Not trying to line up with the right people. Not trying to say, if I get Tyler Perry on my side, if I get Oprah Winfrey on my side. No. What did God give me? What vision did he give me? Let me change to match that vision. Let me come up to be the person that is worthy to bear that vision. And by becoming that, it's like gravity is taking over. And the things and the people I need are starting to appear. They're starting to come. But you all have had a front row seat and seen me fumble and stumble and tell you how afraid I am and tell you like I'm rewiring and all this kind of stuff. And I probably have looked like a madman on these posts talking, but I don't care. Because if I can, was that Phil? If I get Phil to believe and say, you know something, I'm going to stop hiding, I'm going to jump on out here. If I can get Princess Young to say, you know something, I'm going to really go for it. If he's crazy enough to go for it, I'm going to go for it. If I can get Esther to step out in all the brilliance that she has, if I can get Lord, Carla is already doing it. Carla has, she wrote a book when we first met. Now she's starting her first project. But if I can get her to step out even further, that's worth it for me, because in my mind and in my heart, this is already done. I don't know how it's going to play out, but in my mind and my heart, this tech company is already done. It's already done. I don't know. Some of you might have not seen some of the stuff. I'm just going to share the PowerPoint. I'm going to share the PowerPoint and share the pitch deck and let y'all just kind of take a look at some stuff here. Nope, wrong one. Okay. I don't know. Can y'all see that? I hope you can. Okay. All right. So share this. Okay. Okay. So here is the pitch deck. This is kind of like what the pitch deck looks like. Oh. Okay. But kind of went through all these things, man, just talking about like, how can we make it happen? You know, we did a real good job in looking through our numbers, making sure those numbers work. Talked about what made us different as a platform. Showed them that how we got to the MVP status here when we were with at the gala. So the first one showed the concept, but it's kind of showing, you know, which benchmarks we've gotten. And lastly, what we were doing was we talked about the algorithm, you know, showing how the algorithm. I don't know. I know some of y'all took the test that we had, and that test was about, you know, how that test was determining, you know, how much we could determine from you based off that algorithm. So that was a real cool thing. So I'm looking at my Facebook page here, and I don't know if it's stuck here. So let me go back. Okay, so I don't know if what's going on. Let's see here. Okay, I don't know if you saw it, but I'm looking at it from my phone, and it don't look like it has moved. So I hope I'm not stuck. So if you all can hear me, can you kind of chime in to let me know you hear it? Okay. Nobody is chiming in, so I don't know if you all hear me or not. Okay. It's starting to move again back on my screen, so I couldn't tell if I lost you all or not. But since it's still moving, I'm gonna go back. Okay. Okay. Okay, Miss Knight. Glad to see you on. Glad you're here. Fellow dreamer there. So let's go back to the screen. Okay. And here's the survey. Here's the survey. And basically from this survey, we've been able to determine a whole lot about who you are. And if you haven't had the test, please hit me up an email. So we want to send it, because this data that we're getting is gold. Is gold. So in a perfect world, some of you all would kind of tell me what you felt. Like, this is our movie resonance profile. So the first screen is, tell me which mood you're in today. So me, I was kind of like in a matrix mood. Say which poster feels close to the person you want to become. Like Black Panther. So which poster feels most like the story of your life up to now? It's a no-brainer. It's Rocket, because it's been a fight going all uphill, right? And which poster would you never choose? I probably wouldn't choose 007. He just kind of a little too ostentatious for me. So the results, put my email in. So my results are, my current mood is one of awakening, transformation, and disruption, obviously. From overlooked underdog to resilient champion, life is a fight for dignity, perseverance. Can't see it? Can you see it now? Uh, can you see it now, Esther? Okay, she says she can't see it. Let's see. Now, it's not showing the presentation. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Let's see here. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Is it showing now? Now? Okay. Is the presentation showing? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the presentation, but we're going to stop. But stop sharing. Okay. But this is what I want you to do. Send me your email. If you got your email, put it in here. I definitely want to send you the presentation or the survey so you can take it. And this is going to give you a better idea about what the platform does, what the algorithm does. This algorithm can now definitely determine based off what your psychographics are. This is built off something that's greater than demographics. It's called psychographics. It's called neurosomatic. It's built off our patent archetypes that we've created. But for those of you who have taken the test, we are somewhere between like 85% correct. We're like 85% correct on the accuracy of what we're doing. And when the software developer took the test himself, he was blown away. So we know we have something special. A lot of times it's not that you don't know that you have something special. We just don't know what the next steps are. We just don't know what to do. But my path, my journey here is literally saying, hey, I'm going to fumble and walk this thing out and let you see me fumble and get back up and show you that it's possible. And like I said, I don't think this experiment, this podcast, is to try to improve the masses in all the world. But I think it's here for you. For those of you who just like, something, I know that I can do more. And I know if I wasn't afraid, I can do it. I am trying to walk this out in front of you to prove to you that it's possible. And I'm telling you, I'm going to win even before I get there. But I'm letting you see all the doubt, all the fear, all the mistakes. Like, even this tonight, trying to get this to work and it's not showing, man, normally that would have freaked me out. But the more I keep working on alignment, the more I keep increasing capacity within myself, the more I start releasing these negative thoughts, these negative traumas that have held me hostage. And I heal from hidden one archetype to alchemist. The better and freer I'm becoming, the more capacity I'm building, and the more these thoughts, these dreams, they are finding me. I'm not finding it, they're finding me. The more I clean my internal work up, I am becoming a greater and greater magnet to those things that were meant to find me from the beginning of the world. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to open up for some questions tonight. If anyone got some questions, you can definitely hit me up. Going to give you a little time so you can kind of catch up, and we're going to go from there. Okay? Okay. Okay, Tiffany, we hear you, but no presentation. I don't know where we're wrong there, Tiffany. I tried, man, but we'll figure it out for next time. Tell us now we can. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, Diva. Awesome. Okay. Appreciate you, Diva. Hadn't heard from you in a while. I don't know if you had any questions about this. We'll give a few minutes. If you got questions, I definitely entertain them. But don't generate them. More than anything, I wanted to get on tonight and kind of share where I am. We got something special here. We're moving. We are growing because what's more important to get to the destination is who we become along the way. And that's why we have the title, Becoming. And this is seeing me come from one state, from being a filmmaker, to now becoming a tech founder, and who I am having to become in this journey to make this vision come to pass. So, hey, I appreciate you all for tuning in with me tonight. I hope I said something that was beneficial in some type of way. I hope I helped. I am going to continue to do this. I'm going to continue to share with you what's happening. Once I hear back from them, if I hear back from them at all, I will come and share with you where we are. And I'm going to try to keep figuring out ways that I can start giving you some tips, some things to kind of help you on your own journey and your own becoming. But tonight, I want to focus on the manifestation process. Letting the dream choose you, align yourself to the dream. Don't ever try to make the dream fit where you are right now. Always rise to become who you need to be for that dream. And it might mean moving different. That might mean eating different. You know, when you're trying to go to another place, you know, everybody's not going to understand that process and they're going to think it's a little too much. But if you're where I am at this point in my life, I can't stay where I am. I can't survive staying here. Right. I can't. And it's not a knock on where you may be. You may be comfortable where you are, and that's fine. But you absolutely cannot stop me from saying, hey, I got to do more. I got to be more. There's more to me on the inside. So rise to where the vision is. Allow the vision to choose you. Get your nervous system in alignment. Quail that nervous system. That's going to be the work. The nervous system is the gate key. It is the gateway to the manifestation. Trust me when I say this. If the anxiety and the fear and all these things are getting in the way, until you bring that into alignment with the vision, you got to kind of keep hitting and missing. But the moment you get that nervous system in alignment and then wait, the inspired action is going to present itself. And when it presents itself, go for it. You're going to see the magic happen. God bless y'all. Thank y'all so very much for your time. For those of you who haven't had the test, please comment, send me an inbox, whatever. We'd love to send it to you because every time you take this test, it is helping us train the algorithm a little more and we're getting data so we can kind of make the platform even better. Okay. Thank y'all so much. God bless you. Talk to you soon.